Hello everyone, if you are watching after the fact then please do feel free to skip forward into the qualifying session as we are just sorting out the last little bits of the lobby. I had my PC on so I could do the thumbnail, that's why I had it on. Let's see. Oh, that was loud. That was a loud Discord ping.
Hello, Rick. How are you doing, man?
Watch that later. I'm getting distracted by bloody YouTube videos now, stop it. Ah! That's that done.
I'm surviving, mate. I'm surviving. How are you, Rick? What you been up to?
Oh, Rick's already well ahead of me.
You can still post it in YouTube and Twitch streams.
No,
Oh, no,
he's already done it. He's already done it.
Damn. He's trying to take our jobs, these bloody Dutch people.
Yeah, God, they win one world championship and they think they can do whatever they want. Yeah. Oh man. Well, I'm sure the Netherlands hasn't stopped partying for the last few days.
Yeah.
I'm sure half the country called in sick.
Yep. I saw a meme. It's like I think it said satellite view of the Netherlands after Sunday, and it was just the Netherlands, and then just an orange fog.
Yeah. Breaking news: a strange orange fog has covered the entirety of the Netherlands today.
Is that everyone? 14 out of 14. Yep. Alright, I think we're ready to go.
Alright
Don't
then.
forget to spectate.
Yes, hello everyone. It's Tuesday. It's can only mean one thing. It's Tier 2 for what is going to kick off the first of 3 championship finales in 1 week. So it's going to be quite the treat for everybody. I've not been following Tier 1, even though I'm supposed to be driving in it. I don't know what's going on over there. I know the Sprint Championship is going to be close for the Constructors and for the Drivers' title. But tonight we start with Tier 2 as we have the countdown begin until qualifying. So I'm going to get my little script up here because I haven't done it yet. I've got my mince pie ready to go for the middle of qualifying. I normally eat it before the stream. But anyway, good evening everyone and welcome back to APPF1 Tier 2 for tonight's dose of racing action. I am Sumo, your commentator this evening, and joining me as always is the two-time sprint champion Ghost. How are you tonight, mate?
Is there going to be a week where you don't actually accidentally say two-time sprint championship?
No. Did I say championship? I said champion, didn't I?
You said champion.
Ah, well, who cares? Oh, it's a wet
It
qualifying
is
session.
wet. It
That's
is wet.
very intriguing. So we're going to head to Italy for the second time, to the Colosseum where our drivers are going to do battle. Yes, the Temple of Speed is where we are headed. Monza is quite the fitting place for our drivers to do battle. One last time out in this. I can't speak today. Out in this season, and it is all to play for. 5.793 kilometers and the fastest track with the fastest average speed circuit of 264.3 kilometers per hour. We'll perhaps see our drivers giving everything they've got this evening.
It's
Alpha,
full
yeah,
wet.
full wets for everybody. Oh, intriguing stuff. I wonder if the race is wet as well. If so, we are in for quite a treat this evening. Alfa Romeo come into this race championship, and a big well done. They come into this race champions, and a big well done to them. But for Bumblebee, there's no time to rest. His rival throughout the season, Madman Ollie Oliver, is only 8 points behind, meaning that if Bumblebee were to have a shocker of a race, then Madman may well pick up the scraps. Thoughts, Ghost?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. We've had a couple of wet qualifying so far this season, and Bumblebee has struggled in both of them, if I remember rightly. So it's going to be interesting to see. Wet to dry, says our inside man Rick. Um, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. And Madman in the wet sessions that we've seen so far has been absolutely on point. So yeah, there's certainly a lot to play for today, and I'm looking forward to see the conclusion. There's of course our championship battle, and then there's our battle for third place as well
Ooh,
between.
Ollie, Harry Bix going into space there, going over the curb at the Della Roggia chicane. Sorry
Yeah,
to
and then
cut
we've
you
got
off.
our battle for third place between Mitch, who's not here today, LB, and One Wing. And of course, our battle for third place in the constructors as well between Ferrari and Mercedes, currently separated by 2 points. So it's basically Max versus Pommy Alex for third place in the constructors today.
Indeed. Well, tonight's action is brought to you once again by Positive Perception Media Design Products. Head over to their Instagram. It's the place to see the most colourful GT cars on the internet, and I always look forward to seeing new posts. And if that sounds like your cup of tea, then please do head over to their site, their page, and give them a follow. But anyway, without further ado, we're going to get into qualifying as Harry Bix comes through the Parabolica or Alboreto curve to start his first flying lap. And the first flying lap of the session is going to come across the line now and begin the lap. And it's going to be full throttle all the way down to the first chicane of the Rettifilio chicane, turns 1 and 2. He's going to be braking around the 100-metre board, maybe even just a bit before in these wet conditions, as he's looking to get a nice smooth run through there, no problems. Getting on the power a little bit, losing the rear end in these wet, slippery conditions, but managing to catch it and keep going as now we come into the Curva Grande, going all the way around and coming down to the second of 3 chicanes around this circuit, the Della Roggia chicane, looking to brake again around the 100 board or just before in these wet conditions, and not looking to go over those curbs as they will send the car flying as if going over a ramp. There's the other McLaren causing a yellow flag as Harry Briggs goes through into Lesmo 1. A little bit tentative through there as these conditions are seemingly catching out this McLaren driver as he comes through Lesmo 2, getting a little bit slippy coming into the first of 2 DRS zones. There's no DRS during this session, however, as it is currently still raining as he comes on the run down toward the Ascari chicane now. Quick left, right, left section of the circuit can afford you a lot of time if you don't get it right throughout the lap, as he's going to come now to the final straight before the start-finish straight, and this run down to the Parabolica curve. He's going to get on the brakes pretty good there, not as tentative as he's taken the rest of the corners. He's going to get back on the power as soon as he dares and come all the way down to across the line and set a time of 1:32.2. Not the best lap from the Papaya car there, but not a bad start.
I think that's going to be beaten by Shelley the Turtle. It is 31.8 from the Red Bull.
We got the young TTV Max coming across the line next as well. A 1:32.4 with the other McLaren about to cross the line too. That's a 1:39.1. So not a clean laps from the McLarens, and this is going to be VK's last opportunity to score some points this season.
Yeah, good opening showing from our newcomer, Shelley the Turtle. Straight onto pole position for now, so we'll see if that stands in. It hasn't
Speaking of newcomers,
is our other newcomer, Ryan Vandenberg, 31.3.
a great lap from him. Another Dutch driver on the field, on the grid this evening. I really can't speak. I don't know what's going on. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. That's a QB going for a little spin coming out of Parabolica there. Doesn't look. Has he got any damage? Perhaps peeling into the pits. So perhaps he did have some damage then. So that's going to be that lap in the bin for him as Hartman comes across the line to set a lap. Where's it going to put him? Only 7th for now. But these are the first laps of the session. We've got our championship leader, Bumblebee, the man with one hand on the trophy, virtual or otherwise thus far. He's going to be looking to try and get some good lap times in order to try and get a better starting position in Madman Ollie Oliver, who as of yet has not come out to set a lap time.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know if Madman thinks that it's going to get drier, or maybe he's busy in real life or something. Can only speculate. But yeah, the championship leader out on a lap. Going to be interesting to see what he does.
Certainly will.
It's fairly clean so far. Maybe a little bit wide through Lasmo, but it's tough to really tell in the wet. You're gonna have 2 laps which look pretty similar, and then one is a second faster than the other one. So yeah, it can be tough to tell in the wet. But Bumblebee does go purple in the second sector, although I don't really trust the game when it says purple in the second sector anymore.
No, especially on the first runs. LB's actually put himself into P2 as Paul Alex puts himself into P4.
Yeah, the lap time's getting faster as but Brian's still on provisional pole for now as Bumblebee comes around Parabolica for his opening lap. What's it going to be? It looks really good, actually. Yeah, wow.
137. 130.701.
As Madman is now on track.
So Madman has got it all to do then to try and knock him off pole position. TTV Max is thinking about the intermediates. Yeah. As we have heard that the track is drying out. So we have to keep an eye on that as we go later on. But perhaps people won't have time unless they time it perfectly to put in a dry lap.
Yeah, I think it's going to get drier as we go on. Madman nearly binning it into the wall on his outlap. That would have been an absolute disaster.
That was quite the tank slapper there.
It sounds like we're going to have a wet
quali. Full wet quali and wet to dry race, okay.
Yeah.
That is really going to throw a spanner in the works for some drivers as Ollie Oliver is about to finish off his outlap. So we're right on board with the championship contender at the minute as he invalidates that outlap. It's not going to be too big of a deal. 10 people watching so far. Welcome. This is the championship finale. You're in store for a good one, folks, as it's going to be a lot of rain this week, this evening.
VK is up into P2, just 900ths behind Bumblebee as Madman begins his first lap of the session. There's a couple of drivers now on the Inters. TTV Max has gone out for an outlap. Shelley the Turtle switched onto Inters in the pits as Madman approaches the first chicane.
A yellow flag in sector 1 that might hamper Ollie Oliver's time. There's a Mercedes of Pommy Alex off at turn 1, who's in P3 at the moment, so he's actually improved on his time as well. Lots of time to be found out here, of course, as the drivers sort of trying to test the limits of the track and see where the grip is as this Madman sits a purple sector 1, but we'll take that with a pinch of salt as he navigates his way down to the first of the 2 Lesmos. He's got a little bit of traffic ahead of him that might affect his lap, but they might just be far enough ahead of him to maybe only give him a toe and a bit of dirty air, I think. Oh, this is a spin of an Aston Martin.
Oh, lucky it ghosted.
That was a major spin. It looks like it caught Tin Oz out there. I think that was Krauser as LB is in the pits. The Madman coming quite tentatively through the Ascari chicane, not running wide, which is the important thing, and not getting on those curbs which can spin you out. So he's going to come down, he's going to navigate the Parabolica curve now, the final corner he needs to navigate to set up a good lap. It's looking good if we look at the lap time up in the top right corner of the screen here, but can he keep it good up and down to the line? He's got 1:30.701 to beat. Can Madman Ollie Oliver pimp his rival to pole position for now? No, it's a 1:31.4. It's not a great lap from the championship contender, and he'll be looking to improve on that one, as it's only going to put him in P5 for now.
It was a great first sector from him, but then it sort of got away from him, and I think we're getting to the intermediate tyre transition, so the rain has definitely started to ease off. I can see just on my screen. So as there's a McLaren off the track, it's Harry Bix. Has he kept it out the wall? I think so, Ascari. Yeah, he's just about kept it out the wall, just a bit of a spin for the McLaren driver.
Well, keeping on Shelley the Turtle here, as he's on a lap, as well as TTV Max actually, so we'll see what young Max can do. He's going to go into the gravel at the Ascari chicane. That's going to ruin his chances of improving his lap, I think. So we'll go right back on board with Shelley the Turtle, as Harry Bix seems to go for another spin out of the Parabolica there. Come on, McLaren, we don't want any more spins. No more spins for McLaren, please. As VK's actually set his lap on he's actually getting geared up to come out on intermediates as well. So definitely that transition period for the drivers, as that rain has definitely eased off.
I think it's going to be a matter of last across the line, Sumo, as the weather is changing every second as Shelley the Turtle comes round. Definitely looks like interweather at the moment, but Shelley's been quite generous on the grass on this lap so far, shall we say. So I think there's still time to be found for the newcomer in the Red Bull.
Yeah, certainly so. He's flying the number 27 as he runs ride for the Ascari chicane. That was Nico Hulkenberg's racing number.
My number as well.
And your number as well, yeah. I mean, I run the number 97. I wanted 27, but a lot of people kept taking it, so I went 97. And plus 97's been my racing number since I was 16. I actually did a bit of autograss racing back in the day, but we won't subtract from that. As Shelley sets a lap, it's not going to be an improvement for Shelley the Turtle in the Red Bull, so we'll have to come out again. We've got LB getting out of the way for Ollie Oliver, who's on a second lap on those wet tyres, and he goes off the circuit and takes off his front wing there, colliding with the barrier there, and well, that's going to be a quick trip, tricky trip back to the pit lane for the Haas driver.
Yeah, needs to hurry up, Madman. There's not much time to go. 5 minutes left. As I say, I think it's going to end up a matter of last across the line, unless it's going to start getting wet again, which it might well do. But yeah, I'm quite surprised to see Bumblebee with such a brilliant lap actually in the wet, because Bumblebee seemed to struggle in the wet the last two occasions. So either he's been hiding his true colours until now in the wet, or he really likes Monza, or both.
Certainly so, but I do not hear any fat ladies singing yet at the moment. There's plenty of time yet for drivers to find that time on the circuit, and if the intermediate conditions are really coming in, then the likes of Tin Oz, perhaps even Krauser or LB, VK or Brian Vanderberg can perhaps get themselves up and dislodge Bumblebee from his provisional pole position at the moment. And I'm sure Bumblebee will be keeping a close eye on the improvements of the other drivers and trying to make that call of whether he wants to come out for another run or not.
I'm sure he will. There's
Bumblebee says he doesn't like Monza.
Oh, alright then. Well, it's there's also the matter of who's on wet setups, who's on dry setups, who's on hybrid setups. There's a whole deal with that as well. So it's tough to really make a call here when we know that the race is gonna get drier. So yeah, it's interesting to see what's gonna happen. Most cars on the inters at the moment, though.
Shelley the Turtle hitting that curb at all sorts of wrong angles there, and that's going to affect his lap time certainly, as he'll fail to get the grip down and the control of the car properly. We're right on board with Tinoz, who's coming through the Curva Grande at the moment on the intermediate tyres. Let's see if he can improve on his lap time. Let's see what his Sector 1 time is. It's not green, but he is down on his time.
Shelley the Turtle 8/10 up, sorry to interrupt. So the track's definitely getting faster out there.
We'll see what Shelley the Turtle can do then as he's just come out of the Ascari chicane down toward Parabolica now. It's going to be an improvement that will see him get up close to the front row perhaps, maybe even dislodge Pommy Alex from his current position. But VK and Pommy Alex are out on, or VK's coming out, Pommy Alex is already out on circuit on an outlap, but we'll see what Shelley the Turtle can do as he comes to do the second lap on these tyres.
Yes.
And it's provisional pole position for Shelley the Turtle, a good lap from the Red Bull. Lots of time found.
Yeah, it's definitely Inter weather as Madman's coming out on the Inters, but Bumblebee is still in the pits. So, well, I think Bumblebee's in chat, so I don't think Bumblebee will be in the pits for too much longer. But yeah, if he wants to have a shot at taking that pole position and being in the front seat to defend his, well, not defend his title, but keep his title, then he's going to need to come out, and indeed. He's onto the Inters.
He's onto the Inters. He's definitely going to be coming out
as
Crozer with a 136. So the track definitely getting faster. So Bumblebee needs to come up with something good here as Madman Ollie Oliver's making his way out now as well. Actually, I think he's on an out lap as it's QB who's making his way out. Brian Vanderberg, no improvement there for the time being, but I think he may try another lap here. Is that TTV Max in the Ferrari coming through Parabolica? Oh, yes it is. Let's see what he can do in that Ferrari. It's no improvement for the young British driver, so we'll move on and we'll see who else is out. VK's out on a hot lap, out lap at the moment. Madman on an out lap as well. Just trying to see.
Madman. Sorry to interrupt. I think Madman is gonna be the last across the line for the if he, as long as he doesn't screw up this lap, he's going to be last across the line. And if it is drying up, he's going to have the best track of anyone. So Madman needs to hook this lap together just to have that opportunity. As a car gets in his way a bit there, I'm not sure it's an Alfa Romeo. It looked like Bumblebee.
That is Bumblebee.
Yeah,
he's on Bumblebee on his out lap. So I think Bumblebee's actually going to be the last car across the circuit if Madman doesn't go for a second lap here. Just keeping an eye on some times. There's some time shuffling as I don't see who's moved up there. I couldn't quite see it. Somebody definitely improved though. That's right on board with Brian Vanderberg. He's invalidated his lap, so that's going to be nothing for him. Is QB's on an out lap at the moment as well. LB's on a lap, but he's going through there. So I'm looking at the wrong Aston Martin, as it's Krauser on a cool down lap. Young Max. He's on another lap as well, so he's trying to improve. He's a second up on his time, actually, as far as I can tell. As he's going to come across the line. And he's going to go provisional pole. Young Max in the Ferrari. 130.3, really finding the pace out there.
Madman, is Bumblebee going to get across the line?
I don't think so. I don't think he's crossed the line. I think Bumblebee's thrown it away there as Ollie Oliver takes pole position from Young Max.
Made it.
He's just made it, and he's going to get a slipstream from his rival there. So that is going to be big as VK is retired from the session. Not sure what circumstances. It's a bit of a shaky braking from Bumblebee as he comes in through the Rettifilio chicane and down toward Curva Grande now. He's got it all to do here. He's got a 130.1 to beat, and Shelley the Turtle as well. He's also set 130.1. Yeah. So he lines up alongside Madman Ollie Oliver on the front row. So Bumblebee's got all the work to do. And all the time to find.
He looked, I think it was about 3 or 4 tenths up in the first sector, but it wasn't purple. And who else have we got out there? I think VK crashed.
LB 29.9.
It's getting faster. I think it might have been a mistake. Madman didn't want to give Bumblebee the toe, but I think he might have been better off doing another lap.
Purple sector 2 for Bumblebee.
3 seconds up.
This is going to be quite the lap if Bumblebee can put it together without invalidating. He gets through the Ascari very, very cleanly now. All he's got to do is get himself around Parabolica. It's an Aston Martin front row at the moment, but Bumblebee is looking good to get himself on pole or maybe even on the front row, splitting those Aston Martins in Twain. Let's see what he could do as he
He's
comes
got it.
along the line. He's definitely got it, as it's a
Oh,
1:28.6 from the
wow.
championship leader. What a lap from Bumblebee there.
That is the lap of a true champion, delivered under pressure, got across the line by, it must have been like less than half a second he got across the line to be able to set that lap. And that is the difference between pole position and P7. So, wow, what a brilliant, well, I think lucky timing, really, from Bumblebee, but good strategy to be just behind his championship rival. As Madman backed off his lap, he didn't want to do another one, and Bumblebee, the championship leader, has pole position for the last race of the season, with his rival all the way down on the second row of the grid.
An incredible lap from Bumblebee, cementing himself with that one hand on the trophy so far to take pole position here in this rainy qualifying session around Monza. LB's going to line up on the front row with him. Krauser joining them in to make up the top three. Madman Ollie Oliver takes fourth place on the second row of the grid. He'll be looking to try and get a good start. Shelley the Turtle makes up the top five. TTV Max, VK TFO, Tinoz, Pommy Alex and Brian Vanderberg make up the top 10. Iserol Hartman, Harry Bix, One Ring and QBV make up the rest of the grid. And we are in for an amazing championship finale, Ghost.
We are indeed. It's Bumblebee's to lose. All he needs to do is get a good start, because turn one at Monza can be chaos. If you end up in the mid-pack, you might end up in trouble. So Bumblebee needs a good start, but that can be tricky in the wet. So we'll have to see how it goes. It's easy to completely muck up a start, especially under pressure in the wet. So yeah, it's Bumblebee's to lose. Madman's got it all to do. But, yeah, pressure on both of them now.
Certainly so, and it's looking like intermediate conditions for the start of this race. And if our information is to be believed, we will be going dry. I'm not sure when, but possibly about halfway through this race. I think it's 30-something laps, 32 laps.
I think it's high 20s, but I'm not certain.
It's 13 lap. It was 13 laps on the sprint, so yeah, it'd be 26 laps then. 27 laps.
They're on slicks. They're on slicks.
Slicks. That is certainly interesting. That could be very controversial. Not controversial, but that could be a risky decision for some of the drivers. It's not looking wet as it was in qualifying, but it's definitely risky, is what I'll say about that. As Bumblebee leads us off for the start of the formation lap. Ollie Oliver on mediums.
Yeah, I was about to say on mediums, so he's going to struggle at the start, but we'll have to see if it's the right call. I think he's just taking a risk, trying to outplay Bumblebee in the strategy, as opposed to just outracing him, because he knows that all Bumblebee needs to do is finish in the top 8, and he'll win the championship. So yeah, Madman, just all he can do is win this race and hope that Bumblebee has a shocker. So we'll have to find out.
Certainly so, but those Aston Martins are going to be quite the formidable barrier between Madman and Bumblebee, and in these slippery conditions and on slick tyres, the run down into turn 1 could prove pivotal.
Could indeed. Just to take the focus away from the championship contenders for a second, Crozer's best qualifying of the season by far, in P3 there, so well done to the Aston Martin driver. Yeah, our newbies as well, Brian Vandenberg down in P10 after looking very good at the start of the qualifying session, but as it got drier, maybe got the timing wrong and ended up all the way down in P10, but Shelley the Turtle up in P5, so looking forward to seeing how the two newcomers do. And also we've got Max and Pommy Alex in their little constructors battle for P3, so have to keep an eye on them. Pommy Alex has to finish at least 2 positions ahead of Max.
Well, then the stage is set. The drivers are ready. Us commentators, we are ready, and I hope you guys watching at the in the most comfortable way with all your snacks, all your drinks are ready as the drivers take their spots on the grid for what is the start of a week full of championship races, pivotal races for some of our drivers here in APPF1, and the tension where you could cut it with a knife.
Certainly could. Here we go.
The drivers are set. The last few drivers are just lining up there. As you see, TTC Max just slowing down, as well as the drivers behind him. We're going to try and get that good camera angle for the start of this race. We'll keep doing this. Timing error already. Here we go. 3, 4, 5 red lights for the final race of the season. It's lights out and away we go. Everyone gets away quite well there. No lockups or anything. No real spins as Bumblebee has got away really well. And that's a McLaren off already and into the wall and out of this race. That could be a safety car already. VK out of the race. Getting a horrible start. And both Aston Martins go off to the escape road.
Madman squeezed off at the first chicane. It's a VSC, and Madman has been squeezed out completely. He's all the way down into P7. He's also got a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Brian Vandenberg. So it's carnage in the mid-grid. Madman Ollie Oliver has been absolutely swamped, and his championship hopes are dashed as the VSC is still out, but what a start from the championship leader, Bumblebee. He absolutely blitzed the field on that start.
Brian Vandenberg getting off the track there for a moment there, but Bumblebee just controlled that start, got a great launch. Phase 2 was brilliant as well, kept that grip. He's got LB for company up the front there, but Madman certainly, his race looking dire at the moment.
Yeah, he really lost out at that start. Just got squeezed out. He was sandwiched in through turn 1 and couldn't do anything, and just saw cars go past him. And then I think, unfortunately, picked up a 5-second penalty for a collision because the VSC came out with VK's crash. As it is now confirmed that VK has crashed in every race of the season.
That is a huge shame for McLaren as we get back to green flag racing. I was just trying to have a look at what happened on the start there, but we'll go back to the racing action as Bumblebee sets fastest lap of the race so far, and a few drivers are into, well, one driver's into the pits right now, and his Krauser coming in. Looked like he must have picked up damage off that start there, as LB looking to try and challenge Bumblebee for the race lead.
Shelley the Turtle as well, having to try and go around the outside of Brian Vandenberg, and they're both in the wall. Brian Vandenberg is out, and Shelley the Turtle's taken damage. Brian just didn't see the Red Bull on his outside and just turned in on the Red Bull, and he's now out of the race. Pays for that situational awareness mistake, as Shelley the Turtle now I think has damage as well. It did look like it, yeah, lost an end plate.
Front right end plate. Oh, and that's an Aston Martin. That is an Alfa Romeo into the wall. That's one wing.
It's not Bumblebee. It's not Bumblebee.
That's surely a safety car. We've got another car off the circuit. These slippery conditions really proving tough for the drivers, as we're down 3 drivers already. Will this championship finale be like the pre-season race we had all those months ago, when Tier 2 started up for the first time? I'll have to see, as Ollie Oliver, I must say, he's got himself up into P4.
He is struggling on those mediums, though. Tinoz is catching him. I think the mediums might have been a big mistake to start on, as Bumblebee sets the fastest lap. Look at 3.5 seconds to LB already. The championship leader is on a charge. He is off as Madman. He's really struggling. He's losing time all the time to Harry Bix. Tinoz is right behind him now, and huge strategical mistake from the Haas driver to start on the mediums, it seems.
Yeah, certainly so. Those mediums not really switching on in these slippery conditions at the moment, as Bumblebee has really just opened that gap up to LB. Perhaps LB made a mistake. We've got Pommy, Alex and Hartman having a little fight A little bit of a fight as well. They're not too far. They're not too far apart, but they're far enough. But we'll carry on watching Tinos here as he's looking to go on the attack in toward the Della Roggia. He's going to take the inside. They're going to go side by side for the corner. Ollie Oliver taking to the escape road as Tinos is sent off into the gravel trap. There's a bit of contact made between the two of them, I think, as Ollie Oliver was forced over the sausage curb. He's going to promote Pommy, Alex and Hartman up into P5 and 6.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of a mistake by Tinos there. Just overcooked it into the corner, and he's paid the price. I don't think there was any damage to Madman, luckily, but he's still in P4 with now. He's now got Pommy Alex right behind him. So Madman, he's lost a second already since the start of this lap. 1.5 seconds now on P3. So those mediums really struggling.
Yeah, it really seems so, as Harry Bix is now trying to catch up. The only surviving McLaren, the only McLaren that has scored points this season. This Bumblebee just continues to set fastest lap after fastest lap. They're right on board with Harry Bix, so as he's catching up to LB, who seems to be struggling in these conditions at the moment. We've got a bit of a battle going on behind as well, have we? Pommy Alex in the hunt for a position at the moment, but he's not close enough to go on the attack of his rival. We've got TTV Max as well, only 3/10 behind Krauser, but these guys are way back as they've had to stop.
Sorry, Pommy Alex really overcooked turn 1 straight into Madman. I don't think there's any damage to Madman. There might be damage to Pommy Alex, I'm not sure, but it doesn't look like it as they come through Curva Grande. Pommy Alex on the outside as they come up to the chicane. Is he going to send it? It's going to be close. They're going to be side by side as Madman is spun round. Pommy Alex!
And LB's retired from the session. It's a safety car.
Oh, that's huge news for Madman Ollie Oliver, but he's still all the way down in P7 now after that spin. And it was just...
LB, yeah, looks like he's overcooked it out of Lesmo 1 there. Sorry to cut you off, guys. He's just sat in the wall. That's a definite safety car.
Yeah, it was just I think just a poor, again, poor awareness, maybe the pressure, but yeah, Madman just, I mean, it's difficult to call. I've only seen it once, but it looked like Madman just turned in a little bit too much and ended up spinning round. So he's now down in P6, but he'll be very happy to see the safety car. I think he's going to head onto those soft tyres. I wonder what the leaders are going to do. Bumblebee has stayed out. Harry Bix is into the pits. But Bumblebee looking absolutely unbeatable right now.
And certainly he's putting in a champion's performance. But Harry Bix looks like he's serving a time penalty as well. It's been a good chance for Ollie Oliver to get rid of that and come back into this race on somewhat equal terms with his rival at the moment. And it's not over yet as Harry Bix is on those soft tyres. Madman, let's see what he goes for. He's going to go for the softs as well. This could be his chance to perhaps even jump his rival off the start or later on in the race, as he will be on older tyres, as Haas is double stacked with QB coming in as well. Not a bad double stack there, as QB's going to get out ahead of maybe the Red Bull. No, not quite. The Red Bull's got too much speed coming through. Yeah, he's not going to get out ahead of the Red Bull. So a little bit of a stunt in the race here at the moment. We've still got drivers to catch up, as Bumblebee's the only one with the safety car at the moment. So now that gives us a chance to kind of review the start there to see what sort of happened.
Well,
I've missed a lot of action here. I'm just trying to watch everyone, and I missed that major crash between the two newcomers to the.
Yeah, it was just at turn 2, as Shelley was on the outside of the corner and was still side by side with Brian, and then Brian just turned in ready to go to Curva Grande, not realizing Shelley was there, and ended up in the wall. So some not so great displays so far in these first 5 laps. 4 cars out of the race already, and that means, by the way, if Madman wins this race, well, Bumblebee only needs to finish at worst 8th to win the championship. So at the moment, all he has to do basically is not crash, and he will win the championship.
Yeah, certainly. So I was just having a look over at the start. So it looks like VK gets away fairly well, and then as he's coming into the second phase of the start, he just goes off, loses the grip into the wall, bounces off the first barrier and into the second one. Luckily, not taking anybody with him, quite miraculously, as it was quite a dangerous crash. And if I was the Alpine behind, I definitely would have had to change my trousers about now. But then it looks like the Mercedes of Pommy Alex also gets a little bit squirmy off the start, and then as everyone comes into turn one, this bunch of contact has become tight into it, and with the two Aston Martins running themselves off the circuit, and it looked a bit just looked a bit hairy on the start there. We're lucky we only had VK out off the start there, really.
I do wonder if Madman had some bodywork damage from that crash with Pommy Alex, because he did seem to be, as he was coming in for the safety car, he did seem to be really struggling. I know those mediums were bad, but they weren't quite, I don't think they were quite as bad as he was making them out to be, so he may have some bodywork damage, but it remains to be seen. He's now on the softs, the two Alpines both on mediums, so I imagine they're going to struggle. It's still spitting with rain at the moment, so difficult to call. I've got a lot of reports saying that the game didn't let them start on inters, which is, yeah, it's not ideal, because it did look quite wet out there, but it is what it is. We had to start on slicks, and yeah, 4 cars into the wall already.
That's certainly strange. The rain hasn't seemed to have gone anywhere, so I'm not sure what the game is playing at here, but you have to wonder, now that everybody, except for TTV Max, of course, is now penaltyless, and with this strategy call, Bumblebee could perhaps be in a bit of a tricky situation, as Madman has passed Tinnels on the safety car. I'm not quite sure what happened there.
Yeah, not certain about that one.
Perhaps the game told him to pass him or something. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've got Bumblebee's on a 6-lap-old soft tyres at the moment, and the safety car come out at an okay time. But if Madman really does have that damage, then I'm not sure he can catch up. I've been trying to look at his side pods and have a look at those bits, aerodynamic pieces, and it doesn't look, as far as I can tell, like there's any damage.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure really what to be looking for bodywork damage. I haven't really seen it in terms of actually on the graphical car in the spectator view. So yeah, but it doesn't look to be anything, so hopefully he's fine. But yeah, that overtake on Tinnels was strange.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to be getting ready to go racing again. All the drivers are warming up their tyres. I'm expecting that yellow light on top of the safety car to go out, and yes, it does, right as I say so. So Bumblebee is now going to become the effective safety car as they traverse their way through the Ascari chicane for the 7th time today. 20 laps left of this race as we go racing, and Bumblebee is backing everybody up now. Harry Bix is all over the back of him, ready and raring to go as we restart this race. Bumblebee's got it all to do. You can see how eager Harry Bix is behind the safety car. Hasn't yet peeled in, but they're going to be coming down through Parabolica. You can go from any point now as they prepare to go racing once more. Harry Bix all over the back of him. Can Bumblebee catch him out and get this restart gone? Yes, he goes away, and he catches Harry Bix sleeping as he forms that. He gets himself quite a big gap going on. We'll try and look down the action as Ollie Oliver's on the attack already on the Alpines, and Tinnels is looking to get involved as well. They're going to try and go 3 wide, but Madman covers him off, and he gets past Hartman as the two Alpines go side by side. Harry Bix round. No damage for Harry Bix, but he's going to be in the grass and drop way down to the back. That's going to put Ollie Oliver now on the hunt for his championship rival, and he's closing in with quite some speed. He's going to try and look. Oh, he's looking down in toward the Della Roggia, but then he's not going to go for the move quite sensibly. The championship protagonist separated from the rest of the pack by 5 seconds. TTV Max is up with the P3. What an amazing restart from him. The driver is at the back. Hartmann is way down the order. There must have been some quite a bit of scuffling going on round the back. Harry Bix making up some places after that horrible spin, but there must have been quite a calamity for TTV Max to make his way up as far as he is.
Yeah, I think the spin from Harry Bix sort of caught everyone out, except Madman was in the perfect opportunity to go straight past it, but everyone behind him I think got caught out, or maybe Tinoz spun, something like that, and then TTV Max just saw a gap, thanks very much, and he's up into P3, so Ferrari driver looking to secure P3 for his team in the Constructors.
Harry Bix up another place. He passed QB up into Ascari, and he's passed Krauser on the exit of Ascari, so 2 places in 3 corners there. A great bit of recovery driving from Harry Bix as he's setting up the other Alpine of Tinoz now, as they're going to go down the straight. He's on the softer tyre and Tinoz on the mediums. But Tinoz using all that battery to try and defend. Harry Bix is going to go to the inside, try and go late on the brakes. Tinoz answers back with some late braking as well. They're going to continue to go side by side through the Della Roggia, no, the Rettifilio chicane, sorry. And Harry Bix gets the place. Shelley's out of the race. 9 drivers left in this race now. Wow. This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah. But yeah, great racing between Harry Bix and Tinoz there at turns 1 and 2. Madman trying to keep up with Bumblebee. He's just sort of he's just sort of hovering around that 1 second barrier. I don't think DRS is enabled yet. I think Shelley might have just retired in the pits, so
yeah, it looks like it.
Certainly not ideal at the moment. It looks like the rain is just about stopping, so these mediums are going to start coming into play.
Ghost got Pommy, Alex and Krauser going side by side into Ascari. Great racing from the two of them, leaving some space. Pommy Alex going round the outside in the first part of the chicane and getting the position. Good move, a good bit of racing there from the pair.
Yeah, very brave from the Mercedes driver as Bumblebee sets fastest lap. Madman still 1.2 behind. It's still close between the 2 championship protagonists, but of course Madman needs Bumblebee to finish outside the top 8. So right now that's last place. So he really needs an absolute shocker from Bumblebee, and honestly, with Hartmann having to take an extra pit stop and being that far behind, only a safety car right at the end. Oh god, imagine the drama of that. Right at the end, the safety car, and then Bumblebee spins on the restart and goes all the way to the back.
No, you could only imagine it. You couldn't write it, could you?
You couldn't write it, indeed. But yeah, I think either that or a DNF from Bumblebee is Madman's pretty much only hope at this point. But still just about 1.2, 1.3 seconds separating them, so they're still very close in terms of lap time. It's not like Madman's falling away. So yeah, a lot of pressure on Bumblebee here.
Yeah, Pommy Alex here is on a bit of a charge at the moment as he's chasing down Tinoz. I'm certain we're going to see DRS activated it's already activated actually.
Yeah.
I didn't see the notification, so Pommy Alex using it to get himself up into P5 ahead of the Alpine of Tinoz. Little battle going on here for 5th place at the moment between Pommy Alex, Tinoz and Krauser. At the moment though, TTV Max is doing the job for the Constructors' Championship.
He certainly is. He does have a penalty. It's not sure what the penalty is. It's 3 seconds.
3 seconds. He's also got McLaren on his tail, looking to get his way past the Ferrari driver. He's closing, but he's not quite going to have the speed to get him coming into the Rettifilio chicane. So they're going to go round Harry Bix, getting a bit too much curb there, getting a little bit of a tank slapper on as TTV Max already trying to break the toe around here that he's giving the car behind him. Harry Bix closing and closing and closing up on the Ferrari driver, setting fastest sector 1 in the process. Both getting through the Della Roggia quite well. Harry Bix pushes him through more or less. He's looking for a way through. He's just got to be patient. He's got a DRS zone coming up. Ollie Oliver is still sat around the 1.2 gap, but that gap is closing as they're going down the straight toward Ascari. We'll keep an eye on that gap as we go along. Harry Bix is going to look to go on the attack here, is he? Yes, he is. He's going to be closing on TTV Max and swoops past him well before the braking zone and gets himself up onto the podium.
Madman within a second of his championship rival as they come towards the main DRS zone, so 0.7. Still 16 laps to go as it looks like Bumblebee, is he going to peel in? No, he's just trying to break the slipstream or maybe dummy Madman into going into the pits. But yeah, his tyres are 5 laps older. We now have a dry track. Madman sets the fastest lap. But yeah, here we go.
Oh, that's Harry Bix out of the race.
It looks like he's
crashed into the pits.
Yeah. How has that happened?
Anyway,
There's
Ollie
another
Oliver,
safety car.
10th. Ah, safety car.
Madman, just as he was about to overtake Bumblebee, he'll be furious because Bumblebee now gets a free stop on those 5 lap older soft tyres. It looks like as soon as the rain's gone in, Madman's been a lot faster, but Bumblebee was the master of those hybrid conditions.
Certainly so.
But now it's back to dry track. It's game on as Madman seems like the fastest car out of the only 8 cars remaining in this race. So there is another way Madman can win if Bumblebee comes last, if he gets fastest lap as well.
Yeah, the only other way, of course, is for Bumblebee to bin it and get himself out of the race, but I don't see that happening. We've lost almost half the grid in these treacherous conditions thus far, and this is really turning out to be quite the race, even if there are only 8 cars left in it.
Yeah, it's definitely reminding me of that disaster of a pre-season race.
It certainly is. Ollie
Bumblebee's in, Madman isn't.
Out. I'm not sure that's the right call.
I'm not either. I don't think it is the right call.
No,
Bumblebee
I think.
Sorry, go on.
I think Ollie Oliver should have gambled and just followed him in, done whatever his partner does, whatever his rival did there. We'll have a look as Tinoz and Krause. Tinoz is in, Krause is in, Pommy Alex in. So Bumblebee not going to lose any positions from this stop. And Madman, I think he's made the wrong call.
I agree.
Although then again, he could go on to another set of soft tyres. He did start the race on mediums.
Yeah, but I don't know. I can't see him taking, being so fast on those softs that he can make another stop. As Bumblebee's, come out on the mediums, he's going to go to the end. Everyone on the mediums is going to go to the end. Tinoz has gone onto the softs. Can they make it to the end? Maybe. They might make it to the end, those softs. It'll be very, very tight, and they'll be pretty much dead by the end. But I think he can make it on my limited memory of Monza.
He might just be able to. I mean, we've also got a few laps under safety car as well. I'm not sure Ollie Oliver can stretch those softs as these I've got on that car at the moment to the end. I think he's going to have to come in again, probably for another set of softs, as they've got, I believe, 2 or 3 sets of them at their disposal, as they didn't use any during qualifying.
Yeah, I think that's a case of Madman just doing whatever Bumblebee didn't do, and
the sun comes out.
Yeah, there we go. I think that might have been the wrong choice. As everyone's starting to approach, I think we'll be out for one more lap, and it will come in at the end of the next one. But,
I think so as well.
Is he going in? No, he faked it.
And I don't see it. I'm not. Ollie Oliver has got quite the uphill battle if he wants to get this championship out of the hands of Bumblebee. Bumblebee now with about a hand and a half on that trophy, virtual or not.
Well, we've got Tinoz just behind him on the softs, and he could turn out to be a sort of, shall we call him a Sainz in this particular scenario. There's no lap cars between them this time, so yeah, Tinoz could end up having a considerable impact on this if he tries to get past Bumblebee, and he will, because those softs are going to be much faster. He tries to get past Bumblebee at turn 1, and it's very easy to collide, have a collision at turn 1, 2, or even the next chicane after Curva Grande. Very, very easy to do. We've seen it multiple times already this race. If that happens, then Tinoz might have a big impact on this championship.
Yeah, certainly so. He could definitely get himself involved there on those fresh soft tyres. As we might even, I think we're going to start to go racing again. Yes, we are. So Ollie Oliver now becomes the effective safety car coming through Ascari for the 14th time this race. We've got 13 laps remaining. Different strategies up and down. Well, different strategies between the two championship protagonists, and a very, very, very tough fight left for Ollie Oliver, and hopefully this is the last safety car of the evening.
Fingers crossed. Hopefully we get eight finishers for this race.
There he goes. Ollie Oliver's gone. He's caught Bumblebee out just a little bit, as he's got it all to do. Have a keep an eye on Tinoz as he's not quite closing. Actually, Bumblebee getting in that toe as Ollie Oliver is all over the track trying to break that toe of his rival down there. No moves at the minute. Is that Hartman going for a move on QB? It is. He dove right up the inside of the Haas driver and has got himself up into P7.
Bumblebee right behind Madman. Tinoz still right behind as well. He might not want to get involved. He might not want to have an impact on this championship. I mean, I can certainly understand sort of backing off and thinking I'm not going to be in the APPF1 headlines today. There's Bumblebee closing right on Madman, who's got those old soft tyres, 9 laps old. They're going to be struggling, those new mediums, and he does have a big moment, and Bumblebee sails past his championship rival. Madman uses the ERS. Can he have another go? He's going to have a go down the inside of Ascari. They're side by side, but he backs out very cautiously from the Haas. I thought he was going to go for it for the championship, but no, he backed out, let Bumblebee go, and Bumblebee back into the lead of this race with Madman just on the wrong strategy, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Ollie Oliver really looked like he struggled for that rear grip coming out of Lesmo too. And he's looking like he's going to go back on the attack again. Both using ERS, both with similar levels. Bumblebee trying to break that toe. Ollie Oliver trying to find a way through, but it's just not the gap. There's just too much of a gap between the two of them for an overtake to occur. As Hartman cutting his way through the field as Pommy Alex has gone for a little spin at the Retafilio.
Madman's closing as they come into the second chicane. He's going to go down the inside. He's going to back out eventually, though. Oh, you can tell these two are fighting for a championship just by the way they're battling. No one battles like this unless it's for a championship. As Madman desperate to try and get his way back past Bumblebee, as he's going to have... Is he going to have the DRS? Is it enabled yet? No, it's not. So he needs to save some of that ERS. He's using too much of it at the moment. Bumblebee's got around 20% more as they come into Ascari, breaking that toe, the Alfa Romeo, as the Haas approaches him, but he's not going to have DRS this lap. He's still not going to have DRS onto the main straight either, as he makes a mistake through Ascari as well, struggling to keep that rear end in check. 6/10 the gap.
Yeah, you won't want to do that too many times, as he could get himself a penalty, which would affect the end result of the race. But DRS should be activated this lap, as it will be the third lap of racing. Yes, there it is. Race control have enabled DRS as Krauser sets the fastest lap of a 23.666. As he's looking to make a move on the Alpine. He's going to go round the outside into turn 1 here. Tinoz is going to brake as late as he dares and cover him off and say, no, not today, you're not coming through, and this is be my second podium, you're not going to take it. As Madman is once again looking to gain on his rival, and this time he will have DRS as long as nothing goes wrong. QB, I think he's just round. Yeah, he's had a spin. It looks like he might have got a bit of damage. Yeah, he's no front wing for QBV.
Madman nearly into the wall.
Getting a little shaky there. He's really struggling on those tyres. They're 11 laps old now. Bumblebee's going to start sailing away from it, and that's where I think that choice not to come into the pits is going to really come back to haunt Madman. He closes in with the DRS, but he's not close enough to make a move. He'll be looking down the pit straight if he doesn't come in this lap. He may even attempt to try and go to the end on those soft tyres, but I just don't see it working.
There's no way. 21 laps and soft tyres at Monza. No way. Surely not. He's just going to get a puncture.
Yeah, that is a puncture waiting to happen, I think. But Ollie Oliver, let's see what he does. He hasn't peeled into the pit lane. He's very low on ERS, but so is Bumblebee. He's only got a few percentage more than his rival, and Bumblebee managing to hold him off.
Yeah, they're both using all their ERS. Tinoz has just backed off way behind now as he's still defending from Crozer. It's the top two and then everyone else pretty much with QB at the back peeling into the pits with that lack of front wing. And he gets a 5-second penalty for his troubles.
I mean, he might just be hoping for a safety car, wondering, and if I was Madman, I'd be hoping it was Bumblebee that brought it out. But
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Would be a horrible way for the championship.
Yeah, if Bumblebee does crash, then all Madman has to do is finish the race. So, yeah, it's all to play for. Bumblebee still trying to break that toe. Such aggressive driving from the Alfa Romeo. I haven't seen him drive this aggressively all season. This is great stuff from the Alfa Romeo. He's really fighting for that championship. I think we're going to see a lot more of that later this week.
Madman might just be on the attack here. He's closed up quite a bit. He's in 5 tenths now. He's going to open up that DRS any second now. He's got the ERS. It looks like he's closing. Is he? Not quite. Bumblebee not using the ERS even as Madman hasn't got any to go. But Madman's going to go for a dive to the inside. He's going to look. He's going to brake as late as he dare. They're going to go side by side through the chicane. Ollie Oliver sticks it round the outside. They're going to continue to go side by side as they come down to the Curva Grande now. They're going to go side by side into the Della Roggia surely. There's contact as Ollie Oliver goes into the wall.
It's a crash between the championship rivals. Ollie Oliver into the wall as Bumblebee had the ERS. He's got damage, the Haas driver, and he really needs a safety car now. I think that might just be championship over.
I think so.
Yeah, no right end plate on that Haas front wing. As Crozer, by the way, has got himself into P2, not minding all the drama. So that would be by far his best result of the season. He hasn't scored a podium yet. Best result of the season so far is a lowly 8.
Tinoz is going on the attack. Sorry to cut you off there, Ghost. He's going to look to go round the outside of the Parabolica now. More action on the circuit. Let's hope there's no contact this time as Crozer fends him off for now. But Tinoz is going to have the DRS coming down. TTV Max has got a penalty, but he's going to get involved in the action nonetheless as they come down the pit straight.
Yeah, here comes Tinoz. He's got the DRS, and I think that's going to be a comfortable pass for the Alpine, but of course he's going to be struggling towards the end of this race on those soft tyres as Crozer tries to maybe get a look in, but has to back out of it, nearly heads off into the gravel. And now, yeah, TTV Max is getting involved as well as they battle. It's a 3-way battle for P2.
And I don't know about you guys, but we might be seeing a few of the incidents that occurred tonight in the steward's room later on.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit of a busy night for us as Bumblebee is set to win this championship unless he spins and crashes right now. Ollie Oliver out of the pits then. Fresh softs, new wing. All he can hope for is another safety car.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. As they come through Ascari, there's still a 3-way battle going on, so there's every chance. There's 7 laps to go as Bumblebee comes through Parabolica for the 20th time. Now we come onto the DRS straight with Crozer right behind Tinoz again.
And TTV Max is in the mix as well, but he's not going to be close enough. I think Krauser's going to go on the attack on his rival here. He's going to go peel off to the inside. They're going to go side by side.
Oh,
Tinoz
that's
backs
late.
off, lets him through, and goes for the switchback. And Krauser's off the circuit, actually. Camera angle deceived me a little bit there. I couldn't quite see what was going on. TTV Max now trying to have a look, but he's not going to quite have the run on his rivals as he wants.
Yeah, I was riding on board with Crozer at the time. He just overcooked the braking into turn 1 and had to take to the escape road. And Tinoz just said, "Thank you very much. I'll have my P2 back," as they head through the rest of the track. And still a lot of action to come for this race.
Yeah, certainly so. We've got 6 laps remaining, or 6.5 laps remaining, I suppose. As we come through as the Tinoz makes his way through the Ascara chicane. This battle for P2 is really heating up as TTV Max is now getting himself involved and alongside Krauser and swoops by before the corner. I'm not sure, he might just get DRS on Tinoz to help him defend from Krauser, but Krauser will come back at him, certainly so. Tinoz has a lot of ERS in the tank, and he's going to be in the advantageous position to defend.
Yeah, it's DTV Max still just behind, but yeah, that penalty is going to cost the Ferrari driver as they will fight for a podium here. Crozer looking for his first podium of the season. His best result of the season so far is 8th place. So what a result this would be for the Aston Martin driver. But yeah, Tinoz has had a podium already this season in Russia. That's 2nd place.
Yeah,
TTV Max, his best result so far is also 8th place. So Madman Ollie Oliver sets the fastest lap, but at the moment, yeah, nowhere near enough. He needs a safety car. He needs Bumblebee to crash out or come last, and then he needs to get all the way up into 1st. I mean, with 5 laps to go, that's, yeah, it's he'd to quote Christian Horner, he'd need a miracle.
Yeah, he certainly would. He certainly would indeed. This championship finale really calming down at the moment, but the battle for P2 rages on as the 3 drivers fighting it out head through the Parabolica and up toward the pit straight now. Tinoz trying to go defensive. TTV Max is going to get in that slipstream and try and go for a move. He's got that penalty, which is going to set him back a lot. He's got 8 seconds of time penalties, so he's really just getting in the way of Tinoz and Krauser here, I think.
Yeah, but you know, you can never count on anything. Even with a lot of penalties, you've got to fight for every position. You never know what's going to happen, whether the drivers around you are going to get penalties as well, or you know, still anything could happen. But I think Max at the moment, if we ignore the penalties, his main problem at the moment is his lack of ERS. Only got 20% in the tank. Tinoz got about 60, Crozer about 75. So yeah, Max really burning all of that battery and not really to any avail.
Yeah, certainly so. He's going to really drop back, I think, as we'll have a look at the gaps. I think he'll drop way back, but TTV Max has closed right up onto Tinoz. He's practically pushing him through this final sector of the circuit. So they're going to come round. Tinoz's tyres are going to be starting to feel a little bit. Ooh, that was close. It's going to feel a little bit worse for wear now, as TTV Max's tyres are going to be sort of in that sweet spot for going the distance at the moment. He's going to be closing and closing as closing. He's using all the ERS he's got left. He's going to try and get a move around the outside. He's going to be the last of the late breakers. Is he? Yes, he is. He makes the corner. That's some great braking from young TTV Max. He's going to get up into 2nd place, but in practically speaking, it is back 5th as there's a yellow flag. That's a Haas.
It's Madman.
Oh, has he got damage? He's going slowly. What's up? What's happened? He's pulling off over onto the grass. He's off on the grass here at the minute. He's just kind of slowly limping along.
That looks like a wheel brake or a controller brake.
Oh dear. Oh, I think he's managed to get it going again. Not,
Yeah.
that was quite strange. It must have been something wrong with his wheel or controller, but that's going to drop him back even further. And he peels into the pit lane. This could be a retirement from the championship contender. Oh, hang on the edge. I'll see what he does. Yep, there it is. It's a retirement.
Yep.
So that is going to seal Bumblebee as the champion of Tier 2. So congratulations, but there's still a bit of racing to go. But no one else can really mount that challenge.
Yeah, it's Tinoz versus Crozer for P2 at the moment. TV Max, of course, up there, but with those penalties, he's going to drop all the way down, possibly even behind Tommy Alex at the moment. But yeah, it's all the battle for P2 as Tinoz's tyres start to go, but he's going for a move on Max as Max sort of bit of dodgy weaving there to keep Tinoz behind, but
Tinoz gets a wheel on the grass there. That's going to let Crozer close up a little bit. Those soft tyres really screaming now. He's only got 2.5 laps to get them round, but with Crozer's tyres in that sweet spot, Tinoz is looking like he might just drop away from that P2.
Don't bin it, mate. Don't bin it, Tinoz.
Yeah, it's nice to see him doing good one ring at tier 2. It's nice to see any of our drivers having a good race, even if it's for way down in the bottom half of the top 10. If you're having a fun race, then you're having a good race, if you ask me, and that's all we can ask for at APPF1.
Absolutely. There's QB on for his best result this season. I mean, all those DNFs are the reason why, but I mean, he's kept it on track and everyone else didn't, so fair play to him.
Yeah, certainly so. Certainly so. We're going to crown ourselves a new champion in about a lap's time, but we're going to continue to watch this battle between Tinoz and Crozer for P2. TTV Max proving quite vital for Tinoz at the moment, as he's giving him DRS, which is very important around this circuit. And Tinoz doesn't need to attack Max. He can just let him sit there, and Tinoz can just use that DRS to his advantage and keep Crozer behind. And as long as he's got that, I think Tinoz might have this P2 in the bag. Young Max on damage limitation. I'm not sure it's going to do him much good.
Yeah, coming to the final lap, Max just giving Tinoz DRS, much to the disappointment of Crozer, but Crozer's got a much better exit from Ascari, and maybe he's going to make a move on the Alpine as they come up to Parabolica.
He's going to look to the inside.
He's down the inside. Oh,
they've come together. That's a big moment.
Oh, he's into the wall, and that's going to be Tommy Alex promoted up into P4, which is going to be P3 when TTV Max serves his penalties.
And it's going to be the other Alpine of Hartmann who's going to also get around him as well.
As Tinoz has a little look round down the inside of TTV Max as well, but Crozer makes the move back on Hartmann, so he's back up into 5th. Hartmann with 1% EOS, that's the reason why. But yeah, they've touched through Parabolica, Crozer down to 5th. It's heartbreak. He was so close.
Definitely think we'll be seeing that one in the stewards' room, I think.
Yeah, I think we're going to be seeing a lot in the stewards' room today.
Yeah, certainly so. I hope you're comfortable, Bluey. We're going to have a long night. But we are going to ride on board then with Bumblebee, who through thick and thin has been the most consistent driver, has been on it every single week and has done everything he's needed to do to get himself up into the chances of having a championship. He's going to join the likes of Harass as he comes around the Parabolica now for the final time of this second season of the Tier 2 Championship for APPF1. He's going to put the ERS on. He's going to come across the line to become Tier 2's second champion. Well done, Bumblebee, as he finishes off this championship with a dominant performance. taking pole position and taking the win. Incredible stuff as Tinos gets P2. TTV Max finishes P3, but Pommy Alex is promoted up onto the podium there. And I think TTV Max is going to keep P5 after that controversial coming together between Krauser and Tinos there. We'll be looking at that one later, I think. And QB is just making his way around the circuit. It's his final lap. He's going to be enjoying it. Nice, well done for P7. Is keeping it on the circuit. He may be finishing last of the finishers, but points are points at the end
let's give him
of
some
the day.
airtime.
We'll give him the airtime. As wow, well done, Bumblebee. What an incredible performance all season long. I'm not sure what his assist situation is, but it could be a new contender for the Tier 1 Championship coming into the new year. There will definitely be a space opening up as I am taking my leave of Tier 1.
Much to the disappointment of APPF1 followers worldwide.
Yeah, certainly so, but like a lot of F1 drivers, you may see me come back for an appearance or so in Tier 1 as we go into the new year, perhaps.
Sumo Gilligan, aka Alonso.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe even Martin Brundle to Zach Sweeney's David Croft, as Bumblebee takes his rightful place on the top step of the podium. And it's not just the trophy he picks up for Monza, it's the trophy, the virtual trophy he picks up for Tier 2 today, and the second Dutch champion to be crowned within 3 days.
Not the cleanest race, unfortunately, to end off the season. Definitely parallels to the pre-season race around here. But it is Bumblebee who takes the win 10 seconds ahead of Tinos 93 in P2. Pommy Alex gets his first podium of the season in P3, well driven from the Mercedes driver. Again, just kept it on track and didn't really put too much of a foot wrong after the safety car, and he's reaped the spoils. The TTV Max in P4, Crozer in P5 after the controversial collision. Hartman P6, QB comes home for P7, and then we've got, a whole load of DNFs. Madman, Harry Bix, Shelley the Turtle, LB, One Wing, Brian Vandenberg, and VK all not finishing the race. Wow. Yeah, not the cleanest, unfortunately, but yeah.
Wow, an incredible way to end an incredible season. And to answer your question, Rick, no, I will continue to be doing commentary on Tier 2. I'm leaving Tier 1 as I cannot, it seems I cannot commit my schedule around Tier 1 anymore. But I may join Sweeney for a couple of streams on the nights that I do have free. I have discussed that with him, and he seemed pretty excited about it. We tried to get together for a com stream a little while back when we had the classic livery race, but which never actually took place. But anyway, I'll stop rambling on about that. And Ghost, how was this season for you? Your first full season in Tier 2.
I mean, it's been a roller coaster. It's been up and down. There's been some heartbreak, high drama, you got to say, especially in that last race just then. I think we're going to have a long night in the steward's room, but it's been a topsy-turvy season, full of action. I've been off my feet a couple of times when commentating, so it's been a good one, and I'm very much looking forward to season 3, and hopefully we get some full grids for all the tiers in the new year.
Yeah, certainly so. I really do hope we get some. We've got some promising new drivers heading their way in. We'll have a few drivers perhaps making their way over to Tier 1, depending on their assist situation. But next season could be very promising for our drivers. as if Bumblebee continues, he will head into the next season defending his championship, and perhaps we may even see a return of Harass, last season's champion. But that is all yet to be decided, and that is going to have to wait until the year 2022, where we begin season 3 of Tier 1. But as Ghost said, it has been a drama-filled and tumultuous season that has seen some of the best driving from some of our best drivers here in Tier 2. Is there anything more else to say, Ghost, before we wrap things up?
Well, thank you to everyone who watched the stream. I think we had sort of around 10 to 12 concurrent viewers.
I saw 14
for
at the highest.
So yeah, it's thank you everyone for watching. It's been a blast. It's a shame it was a bit of a bit of a mess for the last race, but you know, championship decider, and it's at Monza, which is a very hard track this year. So you know, it was never unlikely, put it that way. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. And make sure to tune into Zach Sweeney's channel for Friday and Sunday, because we have the conclusions of the Tier 1 Championship and the Sprint Championship, both of which have very tense title battles, so keep an eye on those.
Yeah, they do. Can we see Kiernan getting his first championship in APPF1? You'll have to wait and see. Tune into Zach Sweeney for that. And can we see the battle between yourself, Ghost, and Jackalacco come to an epic conclusion, as well as the battle for the constructors between Alpine and Alfa Romeo? We'll have to wait and see how that unfolds. But we're going to start closing off everything now. I'm going to say one last big thank you for this season to Positive Perception Media Design Products. They're an incredible sponsor, and we're very, 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 very grateful to have them sponsoring the Tier 2 streams at the moment. Their sponsorship and support is very, very much appreciated. Please, please, please do go check out their Instagram and any other pages that are of theirs, because they do some incredible stuff. I want to say a huge thank you as well to the admins of APPF1, especially AP, the organiser of course the whole league itself, for putting together the Tier 2 Championship and giving myself and Ghost the opportunity to commentate on an incredible season to come. And we fully look forward to commentating again for you next year in the first week of January. Not too sure when. I think it's the 11th we're back, is it not?
Something like that.
Yeah, we'll have
no idea.
Have to wait and see. But anyway, that's going to do it for us now. So I have been Sumo.
And I have been Ghost.
And if we don't see you before, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll see you next year. Ta-ra.